Hi, I'm Bahram. In this video we are going to start the OverTheWire Bandit. We'll solve the first few levels together, and along the way I'll explain the Linux commands we use and why they work. If you are new to Linux or command line, this series is a great place to start. Let's get started. Before we start the first level, let me quickly go over this page instead of reading the whole thing. Bandit is made for complete beginners. It teaches you the basic Linux skills you need before moving on to the other over-the-wire wargames. The game is split in two different levels. You start at level 0, and every time you complete a challenge, you get the password for the next level. Each page tells you what you need to do to move forward, and you can access all the levels from the menu on the left. Bandit isn't just about learning commands. It also teaches you how to search for information and figure things out on your own, same as my videos. If you have never used the Linux command line before, the website recommends reading a page called Introduction to User Commands. Let's open it and take a quick look. It explains what commands are, how they work, and how to log in to a shell session. It also gives you a few examples of basic commands. When you're done with a shell session, you can close it by typing exit or pressing Ctrl D. The page also introduces some common Linux commands. There are commands for copying, moving, and deleting files, searching through text, working with directories, checking disks and file systems, viewing running processes, and getting information about your system. You don't need to memorize all of these commands right now. What's more important is knowing how to find the information you need. And one of the most useful tools for that is the man command. Man stands for manual. Most Linux commands have a manual page that explains what the command does, how to use it, and which options it supports. For example, we can open a terminal and type man grep. This opens the manual page for the grep command. At the top we can see a short description of the command. Below that we can see its syntax, available options, and more detailed explanations. You can scroll through the page using the arrow keys or the page up and page down keys or mouse wheel. To see help for navigating the manual page, press H. To close it, press Q. You can use the same method for many other commands. You could just type man and command name. Another way to get information is by using the help option. For example, grep -- help. This prints a short explanation directly inside the terminal. Unlike a manual page, this output does not open in a separate interactive viewer. It is simply printed as text. Bash also has a command called help, but it mainly works with commands that are built into the shell. For example, if we type help grep, Bash tells us that there is no help topic for grep, because grep is an external program rather than a bash built-in. In this situation, we should use man grep. Now let's open level 0. Each level tells us which commands we may need. For this level, the main command we need is SSH. The page also provides a few helpful links. You can use those links to learn more about a command before trying it. Sometimes the suggested command list contains more commands than you actually need. There may also be several different ways to solve the same challenge. For level 0, our goal is simple. We need to use SSH to connect to the Bandit server as the user Bandit0. The page gives us all the necessary connection information. The username is Bandit0, the host is bandit.labs.overthewire.org, the port is 2220, and the password is also Bandit0. The structure of an SSH command looks like this. I use SSH -- help, and it gives us some information. And also we could use man SSH that gives us more information. And also we could use SSH on Wikipedia and WikiHow also. It's fast. Here, for example, we have some informations and example. We could use something like this and press Q to exit, and I use SSH, and we should now enter our username, that is Bandit 0, then @ and then our server or IP address, then use -P for port, and then space and our port. We press enter, and also it needs password. We should enter our password, that is Bandit 0, and we are logged in. That means we have completed level 0 and can move on to the level 0 to level 1 challenge. Here I use the clear command to remove the previous output and clear the terminal screen. We could use also Ctrl L to clear the terminal screen. This works in both GNOME and KDE Plasma. Before continuing, there is one important recommendation on the website. Create a notes file and save the passwords you find. You should also write down how you solved each challenge and which commands you used. If you lose a password, you may have to return to an earlier level and solve it again. The passwords may also be changed from time to time, so it is more useful to save your solution process instead of saving only the password. These notes become even more valuable as you reach the later levels. More advanced challenges may combine ideas and commands from several earlier levels. When that happens, you can return to your notes and quickly review what you did before. So for every level, I recommend saving 3 things: the level number, the password you found, and a short explanation of the solution. Now we are connected to the server and have prepared our notes. We can start the first real challenge and find the password for level 1. The page says that the password for level 1 is stored in a file called readme, located in the home directory. If we run pwd, it shows us our current location. We are in the home directory of Bandit 0, which is the user we are currently logged in as. Now we need to find the command that will help us read the file. I already know which command we need, but I want to show you how you can open these pages and read them yourself. For example, we can check the manual page for ls. The manual shows us the available options and the files we can pass to the command. One commonly used option is L. First, if we run ls without any options, it shows the files and directories inside our current directory. We can also give it a different location. For example, ls/. This shows the contents of the root directory. Now if we want to see the contents of our current directory in a detailed list, we can use ls-l. This gives us more information about each file, including its permissions, owner, group, size in bytes, date, and name. Here we can see the file called readme. Another useful option is A. Linux has files known as dot files. These files begin with a dot and Linux normally hides them. If we use the A option, ls also shows the hidden files. Also, we can combine the two options, ls-la. Now we can see readme along with hidden files such as .profile, .bashrc, .bashlogout, and also readme. We can also see dot and dot dot. A single dot means the current directory, two dots mean the parent directory. For example, ls dot shows the contents of the current directory, and ls dot dot shows the contents of the parent directory. Also, the cd command is used to move between directories. For example, cd slash takes us to the root directory, and if we run ls here, we can see the directories inside the root file system. Running cd without a path takes us back to the home directory of the current user. If we run ls again, we can see the readme file. And now let me clear the screen. Now we get to the command we actually need, cat. The cat command can read a file and display its contents. Since we only want to see what is inside the file, we can run cat, the name of the file, readme. And it gives us the password for the next level. Now, as we discussed earlier, I will save it in my notes under Bandit 1. I can also write down the complete command I used, cd cat readme. This double and means that the first command should run cd and then the command after it should run cat readme. Now we have the password for Bandit 1. We completed level 0 to level 1, so now we can move on the level 1 to level 2. To leave the current session, we can type exit or press Ctrl D. Now I press the up arrow key to bring back the previous SSH command, and I change the username to Bandit1 and enter the password we found in previous level. Now we are logged in as Bandit1. For this level, the page says we may need commands such as ls, cd, cat, file, do, and find. It also provides links that may help us solve the challenge. The password for the next level is stored in a file whose name is a single dash. Let's run ls la. Here are the system files, and here is the file we need. Its name is simply a dash. If we run cat dash, the command waits for input instead of reading the file. This happens because the dash has a special meaning to the command, so we need to refer to the file using its path. So I press Ctrl C. To read the file called dash from the current directory, we run cat ./dash, and this gives us the password for Bandit 2. Now I will save the password and the command we used. Bandit 2, the password and the command I used. cd and cat space dot /dash. That completes level 1 to level 2. Now we need to enter level 2 and find the password for level 3. That's it for now. Thanks for watching and have a great day.